Hi there, and welcome to today's episode of Dan Osnop Cooks. Today we're going to be cooking up a treat for you. You've all seen on MasterChef Wagyu 2 ways or other things 2 ways. Well, today for only you, I'm going to be cooking up carbon dioxide 2 ways. Now I bet you're wondering how to serve such a delicious dish. Well, firstly, what you're going to need is some sugar, preferably Australian white, but if you don't live in Australia, I can understand if you have regular white. You're going to need 2 sachets of your finest yeast. You're going to need 1/3 of a cup of baking soda. You're going to need half a cup of warm water. You're going to need not 1, not 2, but 3 teaspoons. You're also going to need a funnel. You're going to need 1 bottle, and you're going to need another similar sized bottle. You're also going to need 2 balloons and some safety goggles. The safety goggles, you might imagine, are a bit useless considering this is a cooking show. However, I got some bicarbonate of soda in my eye earlier, and let me tell you, that really hurts. Teachers, if there's one surefire way of getting your kids to put safety goggles on in the lab, just rub some bicarbonate of soda in their eyes. So, what we're going to need to do is, first of all, I'll explain what's going to happen. In this bottle, you're going to see a biological reaction. In this bottle, you're going to see a chemical one. What's going to happen in this bottle is that a bacteria is going to grow and give off carbon dioxide, which is going to inflate a balloon. In this bottle, an acid is going to mix with a base, which is going to give off carbon dioxide, which is going to inflate this balloon. The balloons are very important, ladies and gentlemen, because you won't be able to see the gas otherwise, and therefore you won't be able to serve it once your dish is complete. So, firstly we're going to use the yeast. What we need is, of course, the funnel. We need the half a cup of warm water, and we're of course going to put the warm water into the bottle. What we're then going to do, ladies and gentlemen, is add the yeast. I've realised I've done this in the wrong order because now my funnel's wet and the yeast is going to stick to it. Ah well, some kids in Africa don't have food. There we go. Most of the yeast has gone in the bottle. Now, what we also need to add is 2 heaped teaspoons of sugar. So, let's go 1, 2. Whoops, that's gone everywhere. Ah well. What we then need to do is attach a balloon to the funnel of the bottle, preferably as far down as you can get it, but okay. Sometimes life doesn't do what you want it to. And you give it a bit of a swirl until you can't see any grains of yeast or sugar. So that looks, not quite yet. That looks pretty good to me. So we'll leave that one there for now as we move on to the chemical carbon dioxide. What you're going to need for this is, you're going to need some white vinegar. You're going to need about 500 mils. And you've got to get one which you can put a balloon over the top of the bottle. Here's one I prepared earlier. So as you can see, the balloon's over the top of the bottle. Basically, the only thing we're going to need to do with this, actually I'll do that last because that's quite hard. So, now we'll add the baking soda to the bottle. Hopefully, like if this works as well as it did in practice, I should all just go, oh that's not worked. Okay then, that's alright, we can improvise. Just thinking about it. And it's in. Perfect. So, now here comes the challenging part, which some kids at home might need an adult to help with, assuming there are kids watching this which aren't capable of doing it themselves. So, basically this is going to be quite, I wouldn't say dangerous, but don't get it on you. Just do that, and you'll feel this sort of fill up with water, or fill up with vinegar, but that's not nearly enough, so we're going to have to squeeze it until the balloon starts to physically inflate. And then we're going to pinch it about right at the base of the nozzle, I guess you call it, of the balloon. We're going to turn it back over and we're going to try and slowly and carefully peel the balloon off the top of the white vinegar. Now you have a balloon full of white vinegar, so Be very careful, ladies and gentlemen. Whoops, that's gone all over my hands. Okay, so now, that's not worked. Right. Hang on, let me just think about this. Okay, so now, you get the balloon, and you attempt, there we go, so I've fixed it over the top there. Now, before I do this, the first thing that you'll notice is here, this is taking an awfully long time. And that's because it's a biological reaction, which does take quite a while. However, if you have a look inside here, basically what's happening is, the yeast is eating up all of the sugar which you put in, and it's using the sugar as a fuel, and with that it's sort of multiplying and growing, and in that it's producing carbon dioxide. The reason we need the warm water is because that's sort of, I guess that's yeast's sort of favourite temperature and conditions to grow, as it is with most bacteria. You can see this sort of slowly starting to inflate, but it's no great shakes really. And with this one, however, once I sort of tip this up, which is what you're supposed to do, don't do it yet, you'll notice that there'll be a sudden inflation of the balloon. Or you won't really notice it because all that will happen is all of the vinegar will pour out of the balloon and a load of carbon dioxide will pour in. You might see a little bit of inflation, and that'll be super cool. Here, as you can see, there's now significant inflation going on. Quite a rapid rate, I'd say. Well, not really a rapid rate, but for yeast, that's pretty good. And of course, there's going to be quite a rapid one here because chemical reactions happen usually quite quickly. Especially this sort where it's neutralising two different products. There's basically the products it's neutralising are acetic acid in the vinegar is reacting with sodium bicarbonate to produce water, sodium in an aqueous solution, and carbon dioxide gas. And that carbon dioxide gas is what, oh look, is what we're seeing inflating the balloon right now in the yeast bottle. Now that's nothing spectacular and I didn't really expect it to be. However, right, now we're ready to do this, hopefully. There we go, ladies and gentlemen. That's pretty good. I mean, you know, it's not going to replace helium as a good way of inflating a balloon, but really, it's a lot more impressive than that. So, as you can see now, we have the biological reactions product and we have the chemical reactions product. You can pick which one you want to do, but I know if I was running kids' parties, I'd probably just prefer to blow the balloons up because that's a lot easier. Costs less money, really. Like actually, common sense, really. You can probably just sort of blow them up yourself. But if you want to show your kids a really cool chemical reaction, I'd suggest using this, which is bicarbonate of sodium and vinegar, which is an old classic favourite. So, there you go. That is carbon dioxide two ways. I hope you've enjoyed this video because it's going to be my last for a while, I think. Unless, well, I have to do any more. But, yeah, that's it. So, you know, you can follow this channel. Seems a bit pointless now, really, doesn't it? You can like this video, that would really help. Well, it wouldn't really help, but it'd be fun. I mean, you know, I could brag to my friends. Wow, I'm sad. Anyway, so yeah, that's pretty much it from me for now, so goodbye.